Welcome back to the Beauty Bulletin, your biweekly roundup of the biggest stories shaping the beauty world right now. Let's dive in. Up first, Target has unveiled its largest ever spring beauty reset. They're making a major spring statement in beauty beginning in February. Target is going to start rolling out its largest ever spring beauty assortment across stores nationwide and on Target.com, pairing thousands of new products with a fully refreshed in-store experience and live beauty activations. According to Global Cosmetic magazine, they said that the news follows the retailer's Q3 fiscal 2026 results, which were released in November of last year. During an analyst call, Target CCO Rick Gomez noted, quote, "Guests are choiceful, stretching budgets and prioritizing value. They're spending where it matters most, especially in food, essentials, and beauty," end quote. This is in addition to an announcement that they had on January 7th, where they announced a 30% expansion of its 2026 wellness assortment, adding thousands of new items and a record number of exclusives as it sharpens its position as being a one-stop destination for everyday wellness. And these decisions were based on guest insights along with cultural wellness trends. And the expanded lineup is including protein-forward foods, targeted supplements, functional and non-alcoholic beverages, family wellness, dermatologist-backed skincare, K&J beauty, and performance-driven apparel. The spring reset is going to lean heavily onto what consumers are actively seeking right now, which is efficacy, ingredient credibility, and discovery. Also, as part of that expansion is their scaling of K-beauty across skincare, makeup, and hair care. They're going to be bringing in brands like Dayzique, The Creme Shop, and Haru Haru Wonder. Along with that expansion of physical products, they are going to be reimagining the in-store beauty experience. And according to them, the updates are going to include clear, new and trending layouts, interactive displays, expanded fragrance testers with note education. I really think yes, absolutely. And a fully refreshed hair care aisle organized by texture and routine. Now, if you are a Target Circle 360 member, you will be receiving some early access to select launches. So make sure to keep an eye out for that. Also in industry news, LVMH has reported stable organic revenue in perfumes and cosmetics as operating profit rises 8%. So LVMH's perfumes and cosmetics division reported 8.174 million euros in sales for 2025, which was flat in organic terms, but profit, however, jumped 8% year over year to 727 million euros. Notably, Q4 perfumes and cosmetics revenue totaled 2.134 million euros, which was their strongest quarter except Q1. Again, that's something where we've been talking about, I think, every beauty bulletin is how popular perfumes and how much they've been growing in terms of revenue for brands across the board. And specifically at the LVMH house, the fragrances that have performed well have been Christian Dior, Miss Dior Essence, and Dior Homme, which were launches from last year. Makeup innovations within the Forever and Dior Attic ranges also supported Dior's performance. Guerlain saw momentum from new additions on its line of fragrances. And Givenchy introduced a new floral interpretation of, I'm not going to try it, I've already done enough French so far today, but they included a new floral fragrance and that expanded the revenue numbers as well. And Maison Francis Kirk de Gion marked 30 years of perfume creation with a retrospective exhibition at the Palais de Tokyo in Paris. So fragrance is alive and well. It is thriving. It is continuing to thrive. I think we will continue to say that in every episode of the Beauty Bulletin for at least the next few months for sure. And on the heels of K-beauty expansion at Target, Olive Young is going to partner with Sephora on another global K-beauty rollout. So Olive Young is South Korea's biggest beauty and wellness retailer, and it's going to be creating a new strategic partnership with Sephora. A few beauty bulletins ago, I mentioned that Olive Young is preparing to open its first standalone physical store in Los Angeles this coming May, and that'll be its most direct retail entry into the US. But they also are going to be moving into dedicated K-beauty zones within Sephora. So that's what this partnership is. It's a collaboration between Olive Young, curating these dedicated K-beauty zones for Sephora, both in-store and online. So this is designed and selected by Olive Young's team, and the concept will draw on the retailer's experience in trend-led curation, brand incubation, and data-informed merchandising. So these were all things that they do in South Korea that has helped shape Korea's fast-moving beauty landscape over the past 2 decades. So this rollout is scheduled to begin in the second half of 2026, and they'll be rolling out in Sephora stores across the US and Canada, as well as Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, and Hong Kong. Further expansion is planned for 2027, with additional markets set to include the Middle East, the UK, and Australia. Also in industry news, CoverFX announced their closure. This is according to Beauty News Daily. After more than 25 years in the beauty industry, CoverFX has announced its closing. This news was shared via their Instagram, with the brand citing mounting industry pressures like tariffs to an increasingly challenging global market as the reason for the closure. And if you aren't familiar with the brand, it was founded in 1999, and it was built to solve a problem. So developed by chemist Victor Casale in a Toronto-based cosmetic clinic, the brand was originally created for those with sensitive, reactive, or post-procedure skin who struggled to find makeup that wouldn't irritate. So CoverFX built a loyal following around its high-performance complexion products, particularly its full coverage foundations and concealers. And they did clean before clean was a word. So they were known for not having fragrance, parabens, mineral oil, or other common irritants. And that wasn't really part of the mainstream conversation in 1999. And by the mid 2010s, the brand had actually achieved cult status thanks to products like the Total Cover Cream Foundation and Custom Enhancer Drops, which actually became fixtures in makeup artist kits as well. In 2011, CoverFX was acquired by L. Catterton, and a move that actually supported its expansion into mass market retail and helped to scan the brand more internationally. And it was acquired in 2022, and the brand went under a refresh, which updated its packaging and reformulated favorites, but it clearly hasn't really been able to keep up with the market. In their goodbye Instagram, they thank their community for more than 2 decades of support and loyalty. And the last story in industry news is that Bioma has named Tara Loftus as their global president and chief brand officer. Following its 2025 acquisition by the Banks Group, skin barrier forward Bioma has named Tara Loftus as their global president and chief brand officer, marking the brand's first executive leadership hire and a pivotal move as it accelerates global expansion and long-term brand building. Loftus will oversee Bioma's global innovation, brand marketing, science, and creative function, focusing on unifying clinical credibility with consumer-first storytelling. So she joins the brand after serving as global president of dermatological skincare at Galderma, where she led global brand innovation and commercial strategy. And before that, she spent a decade at Kendo Brands, which, if you listened to last week's episode, we covered Fenty, which I did a whole deep dive on Kendo. So she actually helped build and scale brands including Fenty Beauty, Fenty Skin, Marc Jacobs Beauty, and Ole Henriksen. So she knows her stuff. This appointment came as Bioma continues to post category-leading performance. In 2025, the brand achieved 44% year-over-year sales growth, fueled by strong demand across retail and direct-to-consumer channels. So some of their key performing products, in case you don't know, is the Phytomucin Glow Serum, which was one of their top 5 US products in their launch year, and their Hydrating Milky Toner, now their top-selling product in the US market, and also with the #1 best-selling Milky Toner nationwide. All right, moving into launches, H&M has partnered with e.l.f. Cosmetics to launch a fragrance. H&M and e.l.f. Cosmetics have joined forces on a limited edition Eau de Parfum collection. This marks H&M's first ever beauty partnership, plus e.l.f.'s fragrance debut and first global fashion collaboration. So a lot of firsts happening with this one. This is a quote from Catherine Wigzell, who's the general manager of H&M Beauty. Quote, e.l.f.'s clear point of view and strong emotional connection with its community made this a natural collaboration for us. Being part of e.l.f.'s first venture into fragrance is especially meaningful, and together we set out to create something unexpected, bringing premium craftsmanship to fragrance in a way that is modern, expressive, and accessible. End quote. So like I said, fragrance is coming at you from all angles in 2026. These sound really interesting. So this is from Beauty News Daily. The collection is made up of 3 vegan eau de parfum, each aligned with the personality of its namesake. There's Power Grip Salty Drip. This is clean and cooling with eucalyptus up top, dry cedarwood through the middle, and a subtle hint of sea salt that keeps it fresh and mineral rather than overtly aquatic. There's Halo Glow Luminous Cloud, which is soft and lightly sweet, blending magnolia, vanilla, and amber into a gentle skin-warming scent. And lastly, there's Camo Blend Nude Canvas, a quiet, close-wearing mix of vanilla, musk, and Palo Santo with creamy woods and a faint smokiness that develops gradually on the skin. That last one, I think, is mine. I'm very basic. I like a vanilla, a musk, and a Palo Santo. So that's right up my alley. Each of these are going to be priced at $29.99 each. And the partnership is also going to extend into limited edition accessories inspired by each fragrance, including socks, charms, and a bowling bag. So here's a quote from Corey Marchesotto, the Chief Marketing Officer at e.l.f. Beauty. Quote, the world is craving more liberation, imagination, and self-expression. e.l.f. and H&M answer the call with a multi-sensory journey extending the boundaries of fan-favorite franchises, Power Grip, Halo Glow, and Camo. This is the best of beauty made accessible to the happy many, end quote. So this collection will be available starting, already January 29th in select H&M stores across the UK and the US, and it's also going to be available on hm.com. And a new brand, Roseman Beauty, is making its debut. So this is a prestige makeup brand that is entering the market with a focus on something often overlooked: warm, olive, and deep skin tones. Hailing from Dubai, the brand was founded by cultural connoisseur and entrepreneur Roseman Opkenhafen, whose career has spanned luxury fashion, beauty editorial, and consulting throughout the Middle East and India. Roseman has spent over 2 decades working behind the scenes of editorial shoots and luxury campaigns, and it was during this time that she identified the recurring gap in the prestige beauty category. Products touted as universal in shade range frequently failed to account for the undertone calibration and pigmentation needs of Middle Eastern, South Asian, and Southeast Asian complexions. She found that shades rarely match properly. Coverage often dulled the skin, and achieving a polished result required excessive layering and mixing. So Roseman Beauty was then developed as a response to that disconnect, positioning itself as a refined edit of high-performance essentials, created in collaboration with leading European laboratories and designed to correct, brighten, and define. And here's a quote from Roseman. Quote, our formulas are engineered to work harder and smarter, streamlining the beauty routine without compromising on a professional high glamour finish. Roseman Beauty exists because I tried everything and longed for more. Pigmentation is not a flaw. It is a skin fact that deserves specialized innovation, and after years of searching, I created it myself. End quote. So Roseman Beauty is launching with a small edit of complexion and eye essentials. So there's the Signature Conceal Kit, which is a dual action compact pairing a targeted color corrector with a full coverage concealer to neutralize discoloration and even skin tone. Its creamy, buildable formulas are infused with skin-enriching ingredients and can be worn either alone or under foundation. And that retails at $68 US. And then supporting that kit is the Pro Concealer Brush, which is crafted with ultra-soft synthetic fibers and a tapered silhouette to deliver controlled, seamless blending across all areas of the face. And that retails at $31. Never underestimate the power of a good concealer brush, by the way. And they're also going to be launching a Velvet Glide eyeliner, Velvet Ink liquid eye pen, and a Velvet Lash Lift mascara, with more products set to follow in 2026. And lastly, in the launches, we are going to talk about a new body care brand called Hotel Mike. Instead of positioning nature as something to be endlessly extracted, Hotel Mike takes a more controlled, lab-led route. The brand uses bioengineered ingredients grown from living cells alongside fermented and repurposed materials, borrowing from the playbook of high-performance facial skincare and applying it to everyday body products. So the upside is consistency and efficacy without putting additional strain on natural resources. Biotechnology is really what leads much of the range, from algae and moss cell cultures to plant-derived actives developed in carefully managed environments. So these ingredients are designed to mirror or even maybe improve upon naturally occurring actives while reducing the need for wild harvesting. Fermentation is used to boost performance, and upcycling gives new purpose to byproducts from gin distilleries, hemp production, grape processing, olive oil manufacture, and oat milling. That's really cool. So Hotel Mike is debuting with 4 products, all housed in colorful recyclable aluminum bottles, of course. So the first product is the hand and body wash, which is designed as a daily staple. It uses biotech derived vegetable taurine from red algae to help support hydration, fermented rice water to soften and comfort the skin, and an upcycled barley grain ferment to help maintain skin balance. They also have a lightweight and fast absorbing hand and body lotion, which is built around moss extract developed using cell culture technology. And this helps the skin retain the moisture. Algae derived actives support the hydration, plant based squalane reinforces the skin barrier, and the same upcycled barley ferment provides antioxidant support. And they have a bath and body oil, which is designed to be used in the bath or shower on damp skin. And this formula blends biotech produced microalgae oil to help improve softness and elasticity with fermented green tea seed oil for antioxidant production and an upcycled hemp seed oil to nourish and reduce moisture loss. And then rounding out the range are the bath and body salts, and these are infused with macroalgae to support skin comfort, an upcycled oat lipid complex to help soften and replenish the skin barrier, and a fermented mineral blend to leave skin feeling smooth rather than stripped. Each formula is Cosmos certified, fully traceable, biodegradable, and derived from renewable resources. So what I can tell right now is that it is available online, but it is shipping exclusively within the UK. So if you want to try it and you have some friends in the UK, get them to grab it for you. An excuse to go to the UK. And in celebrity partnership news, Estee Lauder has tapped actress Daisy Edgar Jones as their newest brand ambassador. As part of this strategic partnership, Daisy Edgar Jones will represent the company's skincare, cosmetic, and fragrance portfolios in upcoming promotional campaigns. So her appointment as the global brand ambassador integrates her into an existing group of international figures who currently endorse the brand. This list includes Anna de Armas, Bianca Brandolini, Carolyn Murphy, Iman Hammam, Carly Kloss, and Yang Mi. The selection of Daisy Edgar Jones to join the celeb roster serves to contemporize the brand's image and maybe build a bridge between Estee Lauder's established heritage and its modern audience. The initial Estee Lauder collaborative marketing materials featuring Daisy are scheduled for release in early February. And then in some exciting news, MAC Cosmetics has relaunched their magazine after nearly a decade with Doja Cat as their first cover girl. The cosmetics company, known for their edgy and inclusive ad campaigns, have reintroduced their magazine on January 29th, nearly a decade after it folded. Here's a quote from MAC's global creative director, Nicola Formichetti. Quote, "We can't wait to show you what we've been up to over the last few months. To start, we're bringing back MAC Zine." Back in the day, Magazine was our creative playground. It was where we experimented and brought some of our most daring ideas to life. As the world shifts and bold, confident makeup makes its return, this feels like the perfect time to bring it back. Let's embrace this new chapter and create the future of beauty together. It's time to have fun with makeup again. End quote. The magazine, which was originally published in print from 2009 until 2017, is being revived in digital form, with Doja Cat appearing to smoke a red lipstick on the cover. It's a great cover. The brand described this new iteration in an internal letter that said it was, quote, modern editorial expression of fashion, beauty, culture, and artistry designed to live across platforms and spark inspiration in real time, end quote. In regulation news, for the first time in more than 2 decades in the sunscreen space, a new UV filter was announced for the US market for 2026. So this UV filter is DSM Firmenrich's Parasol Shield. Related to this release, in November of 2025, DSM Firmenrich and the Personal Care Products Council testified before Congress, highlighting the slow FDA approval process, limited access to safe global UV filters, and proposed reforms under OMFU 2.0 to drive sunscreen innovation in the United States. The Senate then passed H.R. 5371, which was a major law that will modernize the over-the-counter drug monograph system and transform sunscreen regulations, opening the door for faster science-driven UV filters in 2026. Thank goodness. We need better sunscreen. Also in regulation, the EU is getting serious. They have some regulations that are going to shake up beauty as of May 2026. According to a report by B Lab Services, the European Union has approved Regulation EU 2026-78, which introduced critical updates to the cosmetic industry. So this is going to take effect on May 1st of 2026 and focuses on the use of substances classified as CMR, which is carcinogenic, mutagenic, or toxic to reproduction. So as always, I post everything in my show notes. So if you want to look at, they have the specific ingredients. I'm not going to put you through that trying to pronounce everything, but if you are interested in knowing exactly what what's being permitted and restricted, all of that will be on there. B Lab also highlights that from May 1st, 2026 onwards, all cosmetic products placed on the EU market must comply with these updated restrictions. This applies to both newly launched products and those already on the market, with no exceptions. So I thought I'd end Beauty Bulletin with a kind of a fun new segment. We talk a lot about what the industry is doing and predictions and all of that. And it's always, us adults kind of assuming things based on trends and runway shows and stuff, which I do think has a lot of credibility. But I also think knowing what the kids like can give you a lot of insight. So I created a new segment called the Youths segment, where I go directly to the streets to ask the young kids what they're interested in beauty and skincare and makeup. And by the streets, I mean my 12-year-old niece, Jade. So I texted her today and I asked her, what are you into? What are your friends into? What's TikTok saying? What's a product you love? What's a product you want? Just to kind of get the scoop, right? She takes after her auntie and she loves anything beauty. So here's the scoop from the youths. Rhode is still it. Okay, if you thought Rhode might be dying because they got sold or they're going to Sephora, now things might, who knows, the kids still love Rhode. So they love the lip peptides and the skincare, apparently. So like we said a few bulletins ago, the kids are getting into skincare really young. I think the Rhode skincare is pretty gentle, though, if I'm not mistaken. Also, she mentioned that she would love a Rhode blush. So if my sister's listening, just make a note for the future. But it seems like the kids are still very, very much into Rhode, and having it at Sephora is only helping them gain more access to it. Also, a favorite is Glow Recipe. So if you aren't familiar with the brand, it's an American skincare brand, but they're based in like K-beauty philosophies with their ingredients and efficacy and all that. Leans into the story, like I said, that young kids are into skincare, and not just any skincare, they're into like bougie skincare. So Glow Recipe is still a fan favorite, but particularly with the youths. And another thing, which again, I guess goes along with the trends, but perfumes are not only popular with adults, the kids also love smelling great. And the favorites that I've been told has been the Sol de Janeiro line of scents, and also the new Rare Beauty perfume, which is actually one of my favorites as well. So we still have things in common, even if we're decades apart. So yeah, that's what is hip with the youths. If you are looking to shop for any preteens or teens and you're not sure what to get them, Rhode, Glow Recipe, Sol de Janeiro perfumes, Rare Beauty perfumes, those could be great. If you don't want to get any skincare for young kids, I totally understand that. I think Glow Recipe has blush serums. So that could be a really nice like makeup, but they have really fun bottles and stuff, so it might be like an aesthetic thing as well. So consider it our connection to the youth. So thank you to my niece Jade for giving me all the scoop, and yeah, maybe we can get you that Rogue blush soon. From K-Beauty rolling out pretty much in every corner globally to EU regulations and more powerful sun care coming to 2026, that's your roundup of this week's top beauty stories. Stay tuned for the next Beauty Bulletin as we track the shifts shaping how we shop, wear, and experience beauty. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It really helps push us out to more people. Until next time, bye.